All right, students, this was the in-class example. I believe we did this in each class, but I wanted to just go ahead and give it to you again, just in case you missed it. First thing we want to do is read the word problem and highlight any important words, not numbers or dollar amounts. Okay, well, we know he must buy 2 types of cookies. He needs at least, and he only has. All right, that's the important information. Now, the next thing we got to do is create our variables. Well, our variables are 2 types of cookies. All right, so let's see what kind of cookies he's got. Sugar and chocolate chip. So our variables look like they're pretty simple. So we're going to use S equals sugar and C equals chocolate chip. Okay, now that we have our variables, we can go ahead and start with our first equation. So our first equation is going to be nothing but money. So let's see, where do we have money here? We have 25, we have 3, and we have 4. All right, what does the $3 represent? The $3 represents a dozen of sugar cookies. And the 4 represents a dozen of chocolate chip cookies. So we have 3S and 4C. And then the other number we have is 25. All right, well, if you are going to buy, you know this is going to be a plus. And if you have only $25 to spend, that means you can spend up to 25, but can't go over 25. So that means it includes the 25, so that is your maximum. So that's going to be less than or equal to. All right, we got our first equation. Now we're ready for our second equation. For our second equation, what are we buying? We want to buy, he needs at least 6 dozen cookies. Probably should have made that right on top of that. 6 dozen cookies. So, what kind of cookies is he buying? Well, he's buying sugar cookies and he's buying chocolate chip cookies. And if you want a total of at least 6 dozen, then you gotta add them. So our second equation is going to be S plus C, and here's the 6 dozen. Well, if you want at least 6 dozen, that means that's your minimum, and since it's a minimum, it's going to be greater than or equal to. We're done. That's the 2 equations we needed. That's all we needed to do. So we move on to the next question.